This looks like a job for Superman.
Hello everybody, this is Rez the Collector with another Superman action figure review. The figure we're taking a look at today is the Silver Age Superman from the Superman Lois Lane 2-pack from DC Direct. Now I got this as a loose figure from a gentleman on Facebook, and this was my first Facebook deal outside of somebody that I knew, like Travis or something like that. Uh, so I was a little iffy about the transaction, but I went ahead and did it anyway because I guess you gotta do it sometime. If you get burned, you get burned, and you learn from the experience. But I did not get burned. He is missing the majority of his accessories. For a Superman figure, we generally don't get a lot of accessories with them, and this one we actually got quite a few for a standard DC Direct figure. He came with multiple sets of hands, and I did not get those. I've only got the hands that are on him. He came with an American flag, and of course a stand, and of course Lois Lane, and I think she actually had an accessory or two. And he came with a flying cape. The only accessory I did receive was the flying cape, which I will go ahead and put on him at some point during this review so we can see how that looks. And I paid what I paid for him, After looking it up online, I probably maybe paid too much, considering how many of the accessories were missing. But what are you going to do? I'm happy with the figure. I really am. So, that's that. If you're happy with what you got, as long as the person didn't, outright rob you, whatever. As you can see, there's another figure in the background in this photo, and that is a figure using the same body style as this figure, but it's the Silver Age Superman robot figure. Now, I have both of these on stands. They both have very weak ankle joints. The robot especially, this guy falls constantly. Even on the stand, I have to have him basically leaning against a wall on the stand. Because if I don't put him on the stand, he'll slide down the wall and just fall and take everything else with him. So I've got him on a stand and then on top of the stand leaning against a wall. So as you can see, it's the same head sculpt, same arms. The S on the robot, of course, swings out to show the inner workings, and it is a bit bigger than the S on the standard Silver Age figure. Of course, they've got the same belt and same legs, same everything else, basically. The big difference here being, excuse me, being the S symbol being larger on the robot and having that ability to swing out. I'm not sure if the robot came with multiple hands, but he is using the exact same hands on him that my other one has, so there you have that. So I just wanted to do a quick comparison with these guys. Of course, I also have him on a stand. His joints aren't as weak as the robots, but they are still pretty weak. I just gotta swing this out again because it bothers me if it's not swung out. Yeah, see, all right. Come back here and lean against the wall, buddy. There you go. Good job. Now, this is a Tim Bruckner sculpt, which tells you that the sculpting is going to be good. Anytime you see Mr. Bruckner's name on a project, be it a statue or a figure, you can be rest assured that the sculpting is going to be top notch. Now, he can't always control the work that the statue's coming from, such as, he can't control that DC wants a Frank Miller statue and they want it in the Frank Miller style. Mr. Bruckner can't control that, but what he can do is give us the best version of that art style that you can get. So I am happy to say that I own quite a few of Mr. Bruckner's figures, and at least one statue. I know the Frank Miller one that I was just discussing. I know that that's a Bruckner. I'm pretty sure. But I know I have quite a few figures that Mr. Bruckner has sculpted, and I'm proud to have them. I'm proud to have everything that's in my collection. But it's good to know when you're buying something that you can look at the sculptor's name and be like, okay, this is going to be a quality sculpt. And this, of course, is no different. As you can see, it's a very nice face sculpt. It is very indicative of Superman of the age, of the Silver Age. This Superman was insanely powerful. The Silver Age Superman was the Superman that could juggle planets if he so chose to do. They got him to the point where, I mean, when you think of Superman, you think of power. It's like the first thing that comes to mind is like, holy crap, power. But to the extent of how powerful he really is, they kind of went crazy at this point, and he kept popping up with like new and weirder powers. He had anything that you could throw in front of the word vision, he had it. I'm surprised he didn't have smell-o-vision, you know, where his nose was good, but his eyes smelled it even better. Sorry, that was stupid. But if you look at those old comics, and I was a huge fan of the Silver Age Superman because I was born in the 70s, you know, late 70s, but 70s. And, I mean, these Silver Age was, you know, those were the back issues that I was getting my hands on. I really didn't start collecting until around the time of Crisis on Infinite Earths, when they reconned everything and weakened the hell out of him. But the Silver Age was where it was at, man. When you wanted to see some Superman doing some seriously just cosmic crap, that's where you went to look. So, enough talking about that. I know I've been blathering kind of on and on in my videos before we get looks at the figures, and I apologize for that, guys. I'll try to stop doing that in the future. But let's just take a really good look at the figure. Like I said, the face sculpt is awesome. It looks very much like the Superman of the age. I love the S. It's very clean. The entire sculpt is very, very clean. The face, the neck, the S, the chest. The only thing I don't actually care for on these figures is the shoulder drop. And it's not... It doesn't seem to be as pronounced on this figure as it does on the robot, or maybe it is. I just... the shoulder drop on here, you can see where it's, you know, the shoulder and then it drops down. That's my only issue with the sculpting on this, is that's not a natural slope down. It's not a natural drop down like you would see in a figure that would be made today. So that's really my only issue with it. For articulation, well, let's look at the rest of the sculpt. Sorry, guys, a little distracted. Very nice musculature. For as powerful as this Superman was, they didn't really put him down as, you know, overly a McGinnis. Basically, he wasn't a ripped, looking roided up McGinnis type. He was, you know, a muscular dude. He looked more like the strongman that you would have seen at like a sideshow or a circus, which is where all superhero costumes are basically based off of those strongmen, and you would be able to see muscle definition, but not to the point where, you know, you'd see on, like, you know, Arnold from his Mr. Universe days or whatever. He was fit, he was muscular, he just wasn't muscle bound. So I really like the way that Mr. Bruckner was able to pull that off in this sculpt. I love the wrinkles he was able to add in on the shorts. The arms are very nice. And of course, again, the legs shows muscle tone, but it's not, you know, look at my legs, yeah, it's not that. And then of course down to the feet and the boots. So now let's look at articulation. The head is, this is when they were starting, I talked about this when I did the robot. They were starting to play around with more articulation. So the way they did it is they did the articulation on these heads a little bit weird. We've got kind of a side-to-side we can do, and then as you can see here, we've got an up-down, and then it rotates here at the neck. Now, his head's kind of loose, so I'm not going to try and rotate it at the neck, but he does have that rotation there. He does, of course, have ball-jointed shoulders, which, you know, up, down, back, and forth, and yeah, again, that gap there is just not natural looking. He has absolutely no waist or swivel at the torso here. And then on his hips, he has absolutely no back because of that butt piece. He can, of course, go completely forward. He bends at the ankle and at the knee. As you can see, this is a pretty loose joint here, like I was saying. He also has a bicep swivel, a elbow bend, and his hand swivel, and they are kind of loose. So definitely somebody had been switching the hands at some point to get him to this point of looseness. But there we go. Now let's do a 360 with this cape. And that's what on my list, my wish list on Amazon is one of those rotating display things like everybody else seems to have. Because it's just, it would come in so handy without having to see my big fat hand coming in, like grabbing a figure and rotating it. Now this is the standard cape. As you can see, it's again indicative of the age. It's a shorter cape. It does have the beautiful yellow S on the back. It is a little dirty, and I'm going to try and clean that off. And as you can see, it exactly matches the one on the robot. Oh, the robot's actually standing on his own. I don't know how long that's going to last. So you can see here that the cape is actually easily removed. It just pops right off. You can see there's a little peg here. And then you just take your flying cape and you kind of get it lined up. I found that getting it lined up here at the neck first is the best way to do it. And then kind of get it pushed in there. And as you can see, it does give him that flying look. Now I think some of the other hands would have been better for this flying pose, but that is cool to behold. I do love that this came with the second cape. So, I mean, if I was going to miss out on some accessories, I'm glad that the one that I didn't miss out on was the cape. I actually really like that pose right there. Unfortunately, I won't be able to put him in that pose in the case because he is on one of the staircases representing, of course, Silver Age Superman. And he's right above the Silver Age Superboy Prime, and he's in the middle of the stairs, so that cape isn't going to work. It's going to prevent figures from being placed behind him. So I'll have to use the other standard cape. But when I win, I shouldn't say win if, because this is me we're talking about. I'm going to switch up my display at some point. I think he's going to be my next flying figure. I'm going to go ahead and just either take down the Infinite Crisis Superman that's flying around the case right now and put him up, or just add him to that display. But this was a pretty long video, guys, and I apologize for that. I do, of course, have some more videos coming out, but I am, again, nearing the end of new stuff. And I know I keep saying this both on Facebook and in some videos, I believe, but I have got to stop buying new stuff. So I'm going to be coming to the end of videos that I can make, unless there's something that you guys want to see. So that, of course, is what I call reviews on demand, and I believe there's 7 or 8 episodes of that on my channel right now. So if there's something that I have that you want to see that I haven't reviewed, or even if you want to send me a message and be like, look, you did review this, but I didn't get a good look at this, or I didn't see that, and I can either take pictures, or if I haven't reviewed it, I can do a full review, or I can even add an addendum to a current review so that you can get a better look at what you want to see. And that can be for any reason. It can be for that you want to pick it up, that you want to give it as a gift, or it's just cool and you want a better look at it. So let me know on that. You can always, of course, comment on my posts here. I do read every comment, and I try to reply, guys. I really do. I'm sorry if I don't. If you don't get a response from me, it's not that I didn't read it. It's not that I did not appreciate the comment that you left for me. Yeah, I try. I do. I'm so sorry. But you can always get me on Facebook. It's, of course, Rez the Collector, and there is a link to my Facebook on my YouTube page, so you can go directly there. And if we're not friends, friend me. I tend to post a majority of stuff about action figures. Every once in a while, I'll post a little funny something or other. But that's the majority of it. Any like majority of personal stuff that goes into my regular account, so you don't have to worry about seeing things like that. If you're just looking for action figure stuff, go ahead and friend me on there. But I'm going to go ahead and cut this video here. I do want to, of course, thank you for watching. I want to thank everyone for their support in my YouTube channel. I've been going for about 9 months now. And I don't have a whole lot of subscribers, but the subscribers I do have, I'm very grateful for. You guys are all very cool and all very loyal. So thank you for the support, guys. Thank you for watching. Of course, rate, comment, and subscribe, and you have a nice day.